Um, morning all, welcome to the 18th annual general meeting. Unlike previous years, as you know, we're in lockdown and we've chosen to do this AGM over Zoom, and hopefully it's successful. We did have 48 registered and I think we're looking at about 28 on the call. That is pretty good. Firstly, obviously, there are some Zoom etiquette rules. Hopefully, many of you have attended the Zoom webinars that we've been producing over the previous 6 months. Pretty much the same. Please, can you type any questions in the chat function or raise your hand, and I'll invite you to ask any questions. The event is being recorded, so we'll ultimately upload this to the website in time. For the minutes, looking at apologies, I have had an apology from Kim Hansen of Denmark, and I'd like to record his apology. Is there any apologies from the floor? Raise your hand.
Oh, sorry, I haven't raised my hand, but it's Nikki here. Sorry. Sean Comerford, apologies this morning.
Sean Comerford, no worries. Anybody else got any apologies? Okay. Item 2 on the agenda, presidential installation. So firstly from me, wow, what a year. COVID-19 year. As you know, I was installed early 2020 at the beginning of the annual training conference, and it seems such a long way away that we was enjoying the beginning of a conference where hopefully everybody would agree that that conference was a success, first class venue, and we were well on the way to planning what was the summer training conference. But if we think back to early or late January 2020, wildfires were spreading across Australia. We had speakers from Australia that made their way all the way across to the UK. And at the time, we felt it was only right that we do a collection for the Australian Red Cross, given the devastating fires that were sweeping across Australia. And I'd like to thank everybody at that time for £564 was raised, and it was sent to the Australian Red Cross from us as an association. So thank you. We're hoping to continue the sort of conference dinner fundraising event at previous or the next events when they come around, and hopefully Chris will take us into the next ATC 2022. Although some of you may have felt that it was a bad year for me to become president, I actually think it was quite a good year to be president of the association. It allowed me to lead a team when the chips were down and to drive the association forward. We developed 1 hour CPD sessions because ultimately we cancelled the summer training conference, and I think they were a real success over the months that we did them. We've reviewed our policy documents, and as part of that, the Constitution, and hopefully you all voted on the Constitution, and Chris will reveal the results of that Constitution change. It allowed us to really focus on 2 journals that you all received through the post, which from my perspective, I felt Emma has done a fantastic job, and real first-class journals, and that's sort of the benchmarks going forward now, and hopefully we can improve on those journals. And lastly, really, it allowed us to really engage with the web developers, trying to develop the website not only for the members but also for the board in managing the membership. None of this could be achieved really without the enthusiasm of the board, and I think sometimes we forget that the board are volunteers giving up you know, the first Saturday of each month, in driving the profession forward, not only sort of locally within the UK-AFI, but also nationally. Sitting on the board for the review of the Code of Practice, we've got representatives on the NFCC Strategic Steering Group. We've also got representation on the Specialist Advisory Group for the Forensic Science Regulator and the Forensic Science Advisory Council. And I think that just shows how important the UK-AFI is at a national level to some of the external organisations. But sadly, we say goodbye to a few members each year due to the rolling programme of the board. And sadly, one notable person that is stepping down and moving on to his retirement is John Stewart. And John was a regular contributor to our Saturday meetings, and he was pivotal in the marketing of the conferences and the sponsorship, trying to gain that sponsorship. And you know, and it was a result of John's hard work that we got so many sponsorships for the ATCs, etc. And I want to thank him for his contribution and wish him all the very best in whatever form of retirement he does. So well done, John. Thanks very much. Dion Webber is another of our immediate past presidents. Will be stepping back. Dion will be sadly missed. He was an excellent president, winning the Best Chapter Award at the International Training Conference last year. And he continued to guide us through the sticky year that was the COVID year. So I'd like to thank Dion for his contribution over not just last year or the year before, but for the 9 or 10 years that he served on the board. So thanks very much, Dion, for your time, and I'm sure you're in the background assisting us all. I'd also like to thank Claire, to be honest, Claire Mancy, for really speaking up for the overseas chapters at the international meetings, and also speaking up and representing the UK chapter. So thanks, Claire, for your contribution internationally. And finally, this sort of leaves me to thank the rest of the board for delivering on their promises and giving me a relatively easy ride during my presidency of 2020. I know Chris will continue where I have left off, and hopefully he will remember to press the record button on the board meetings, unlike me, as I hand the reins over. So, without further ado, I formally hand over to President Chris Ward.
Well, thank you for that, Lee. And I think a round of applause is called for. I've got a few words I'd like to say, so I'd like to take the opportunity to wish you all a safe and improved new year. I say improved because I feel these past challenging months have given us the chance to rethink, to refocus and to set values. I, for one, have found amidst the chaos and uncertainty, I could see actions in a different light. This role of President of UK-AFI will be inspiring, demanding and stimulating, and I can't wait to get started. However, firstly, I would like to start by thanking the board and members of the UK-AFI for their support and confidence in allowing me to carry out the role and duties as President. A very special thank you must be given to our now immediate past President, Lee Richards. Lee and the rest of the team have carried out and delivered excellent work during this past year, in spite of the unwanted intrusion into our lives of the COVID virus. Lee has been a driving force for change within our team, using e-commerce to assist our monthly committee meetings and being one of the lead contributors for our move to a new website. Under his tutelage, e-learning for our members has been enabled. This is our attempt to lessen the impact of the cancellation of both last year's STC and now this year's planned face-to-face ATC, which has now been reorganised as an online event over the 2 days, 1st and 2nd of February. Lee, I seem to be an electronic dinosaur, so my hopes are that you will carry on and assist me in this area. The Prime Minister's speech of the 4th of January announcing the third lockdown and plans to distribute the 2 and now 3 vaccines has given us all optimism that we may at last be able to put this terrible pandemic into retreat. Another example of experts working together to produce an answer to a world problem. Now, I'm not equating us to the scientists and lab technicians who have produced this vaccine, and nor am I saying that we can fix world problems. I am saying, however, I believe that each of us has qualities, experience and knowledge that together will not only benefit the UK-AFI, but will also continue to advance it as a recognised and trusted professional body. Our industry is currently being put under the microscope with changes in guidance and expectations. These changes are in line with the main objectives of the UK-AFI, which are the development and maintenance of good practice in the investigation of fire and arson, ensuring the highest professional standards of competence and the development of technical knowledge in fire and arson investigation, techniques and procedures. Also making that available that knowledge to the professional service providers and the public. As the professional body, we embrace high standards, good practice and the development of knowledge. And no matter what obstacles are put in our way, we will find ways to share and provide valuable information to our members. The UK-AFI was formed on the 31st of January 2003, and I hope to be able to carry out the great work of the past presidents in providing opportunities to learn more about our profession and support professional standards. We cannot do that without you. It is your organisation, and as a member, as always, we would like you to contribute in helping us shape and grow as an organisation. Let us know your thoughts and ideas. Voice your concerns and raise any requests. We acknowledge that nothing seems to stand still and new information is continually being presented or updated. If anything holds an interest, let us know. Our plan for this year is to increase the visibility of our regional reps to ensure that your wishes are acknowledged. So hopefully in the forthcoming year, we will be able to spread the information much wider and it will be the information that you require. At this point, I would like to hand over to Dr. Peter Mancy, who is our elections officer. I'm sure all of you know, but Pete spent, I believe it's 12 years as the president of the UK-AFI and became the international president in 2014. And I believe still sits on the Health and Safety Committee. So if possible, I'd like to hand over to Dr. Peter.
Thanks very much, President Ward. And can I be the first to congratulate you on meeting that post, and I'm sure you do a great job as Lee has done. And before I start, I just want to say how impressed I've been with the board over the last couple of years. From what I've seen, been extremely active under Lee's leadership, and I think it's an asset to this association that we've got such passionate members that contribute and move us forward. So welcome to the 2021 election results for the nominations of second vice president and vacancies for directors of the board. I'd like to congratulate James Aycott for becoming the second vice president of this association, and also, I know Lee's already done it, but to thank John Stewart for his 3 years on the board and all the contributions that he's made. As Lee said, you know, this is voluntary, people give up a lot of time and everybody's busy, and you know, it's a real testament to their dedication on moving it forward. So thank you, John Stewart, and congratulations to James Aycott. I would also like to congratulate Richard Hagger, Luke Beckett and John Gow. John Gow is, I'm not sure if he's on here, but John Gow is now in his second 3-year term. Richard and Luke, their first 3-year term, and congratulations for becoming directors of the board of the UK Association of Fire Investigators. That means that past President Dion Webber now joins the elite past President's Council that sit in the background and offer guidance, advice, support whenever it's needed. Please don't be afraid to contact any of us if you need to. President Richards has become immediate past president. First Vice President Chris Ward becomes a president, as he is now. Congratulations to Emma Wilson, who moves up to become the first Vice President. And James, as we know, now becomes joins the executives as a second Vice President on the Board of Directors. Now, the nominations will be open for the 2022 elections, where there will be 3 director positions available, and possibly 4 actually, because we're hoping that one of those existing directors will put themselves up to run for second Vice President next year, 2022. Who can believe it? So President Ward, that concludes the election results, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Pete. Much appreciated. I would like to just confirm the new board. Immediate past president will be Lee, first vice president Emma, second vice president James Aycott. Board members are Dave Bristow, Mike Broadley, Di Hancock, John Gow, David Shudell, Luke Beckett and Richard Haggard. Not forgetting, of course, our Director of Administration, Louise Dodson. So they are your committee for the following year. So I'd like to ask you now, if I can, I'm going to share the 2020 minutes of the annual general meeting. I wonder if we could take a vote on that, if somebody would propose that as a true collection of what occurred in 2020.
Yeah, I will, Chris.
That's Mike Broadley. And can I have a second?
Aycott to second.
Sorry, who's that?
James Aycott to second.
James, thank you. And are there any, does anyone wish to vote against that? No, thank you very much for that then. At that point, I'll ask whether anybody has any matters arising. I don't believe there are any from that report. Anybody? No, thank you. In which case, then I'm going to hand back to Lee for the section reports.
Okay, thank you very much. Historically, we've always put the section reports on the website, and I will, at the end of this, show you where those section reports can be found on the new website, given that we have a new website launched today. But firstly, the journal report. The journal, I think you'll agree, we did produce 3 journals actually during 2020. Obviously the ATC journal, but then the summer journal and the winter journal, although produced in 2020, was sort of delivered early January. I think you'll agree, no doubt, that the journals have been much improved, and we can only do that with the help of the membership. One thing that was pleasing with the journals was that the second journal, the one that you've just received, was made up, a lot of the content was made up of membership, and it wasn't articles that were delivered from the board or board members writing articles. A lot of the articles were from members, so that was a really good thing. So thanks, Emma. AGM 2020 report is on the website. Our financial report is on the website also. Our opening balance at the beginning of 2020 was £78,842. Our closing balance was 58,886. Our biggest expenditure during 2020 was in fact the Voco St John's Hotel, where we were invoiced £24,328 for that event. Other large costs or big expenditure for the association, as we are continuing with the Microsoft Office subscription at a cost of £1,759.68 annually. The website that you'll be shown shortly is also a significant cost. We budgeted £16,000 for the website. We're on target to meet that budget, and we've currently paid during the year £12,000 in the development of that website. Our journal, given that we didn't have our conferences, our journals again were a significant cost, costing £2,191 during the year to produce and £1,351 to post to not only UK members but also to the overseas members as well of the association. The financial report and accounts are audited and will be audited again by Fawcett & Co in Lincoln, and I'll be forwarding over the accounts for them to audit as they did last year. Membership report from Louise. The membership continues to be steady, grow, retain members across both public and private sectors. The new website has really been developed to assist in the membership or the management of the membership. We've incorporated annual automatic renewals through payments with Stripe to streamline the payment methods, and also we've also incorporated lead members for corporates, where they can ultimately invite members and delete members from the corporate. They will still need to be authorised and accepted by the board, but it just streamlines and gives them more power to conduct their membership themselves. I'd also like to thank John Galvin for his year as the proctor of the CFI training programme of the International. John has produced a report for us detailing the involvement of the CFI within the UK. There's been a number of exams over the last 12 months, and currently in the UK there's 18 current IAAI certified fire investigators. So I'd firstly like to thank John Galvin for his contribution to that process. And that leads me on really to the website. So I'm going to just share my screen, hopefully give you a rundown of the website. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So the website is currently live. It's sort of soft launched on Friday. And just to give you a sort of small rundown, we have membership details where people can register as an individual or as a corporate, and they can be invited from a corporate to join a corporation. If we run down, just need to move you guys over slightly. If we run down the website, we have the news section, also linked in with the sliding banners that you see. And if we look at the 2021 events, it then goes into details of the ATC. Sliding down to the bottom, again, we're talking about seminars, how to join the association, lots about information really, become a member. And again, we've got a little bit more detail down the bottom. AGM reports can be found down the bottom. If we look at that one today, we've got the download reports on the right hand side. From a membership perspective, and I'm going to give you an idea of my membership side, you can see there's a membership card that can be downloaded to show that you're a member of the association. From a corporate perspective, I would be the lead role for West Midlands Fire Service, and then we've got listed in there the members of that corporation. My account details, orders and payments from the web store, which we'll look at shortly. CPD records is another new item where members can record their own CPD events and also download certificates. So let's look at December's events, and they can download certificates for that event. The orders section, if we go to the store, obviously we now have the facility to purchase a few items from the website. Obviously it's not vast and huge, but there are items that can be purchased from the store. And looking at sizes, this also should manage our stock levels within the association as well. So we should have an idea of stock. Oh, sorry. Can you still see that?
No, it's gone.
It's gone. Sorry. Let's bring you back. How's that? If we go back across to the main website and we go back to my account, some of the other features that is available. If we go down to downloads, we've got the membership directory where people need to allow other members to see their details. So that is an option that people can subscribe to or not. If we go down to the downloads, we've got the journals available to view. We've got research reports, again, available for people to have a look at. If there's anybody that's got any research or information that they feel would be useful to the membership, please feel free to just send me these reports and I'll happily publish them on the site for members to view. And then webinars we will be looking at also should be able to view those recorded webinars that we've undertaken. Currently, if we go to the seminar section across the top, we've got the seminars that we've currently got, the annual 2-day training conference where people can purchase and book onto those events. But also, if you've, let's go for Ian Mullins Fireworks, if you have subscribed to the webinar, you will be able to see the video. If you haven't subscribed to the webinar, you won't be able to see the video, and that will allow us that in time, like the annual training conference that we've got coming up, it will allow us that those people that have paid and have registered on those events can access those presentations at a later date. A review of our policy documents has taken place. So we've got policy documents, the health and safety, the constitution, code of ethics in there. Obviously your board of directors, as is today. News items. We've also incorporated the CFI and FIT programs where people can get details for that. We've got links to the fire arson website, the IAAI, and the CFItrainer.net. Our product recalls have been improved, and James and Dave have been working hard behind the scenes to improve the recalls. And that ultimately, I think, is the new website. It is live. Now, one thing I would need to say is that, bear with us. One thing I need to say is that because it's a new website, you will need to reset your password to get access to it. So your usernames are generally your first initial and surname, and you'll need to click the forgotten password box to get access into the website again. But feel free to log on to that. Is there any questions about the website from the floor? No? Any questions about the reports? Okay, I'll hand back to Chris Ward for the results of the Constitution.
Okay, thanks for that, Lee. The Constitution, we amended the Constitution earlier on in the year, and we asked you to vote on it. And I can tell you that to achieve acceptance, we needed a 2/3 majority. There were 83 votes registered. 80 of those were to accept the amendments, with only 3 to reject the amendment. So for that, the amendment to the Constitution is passed. So at this point, I would like to ask anybody for any other business. Would anybody like to add any other business? No response from anybody. So at this point, I would like to advise you of the date of the next AGM being the 24th of January 2022, and to close this meeting.